All SPs are ID checking dumbasses. Hi, I am here today to tell you why SPs are not ID checking dumbasses and why they are an important part of the Air Force community. In my career, I have worked with SPs to help protect the buildings that I work in. I've learned that they are smart, highly trained, and mission ready, and not just ID checkers. Today I'm going to go over some misconceptions and tell you the importance of SPs, or security forces, SPs as I know them. But I'm going to tell you the importance of the SP career field, some misconceptions about SPs, the hardships of the field, and specifically the scope of the duties outside of ID checking, some stories from the gate about disrespect SPs have dealt with, and what you can do to make an SP's life better. The rumor that all SPs need on their ASVAB is a 33 is true, but as someone who works in a field with everybody who is supposed to be smart, I have learned that ASVAB scores say nothing for common sense and street smarts. In my field, there are a lot of educated idiots out there, but I've also seen in the SP career field a lot of very smart, very street smart, and have a lot of common sense. I think these things are very important for a security forces member. Some of the duties that SPs have are base security, ensuring the entire base is safe and under control, protecting Pry 1 and Pry 2 information, and the facilities where all of the intel geeks work. Also, they protect aircraft, they're first responders to in-flight emergencies, and they have the same duties of a city police officer. So not only do they do all their Air Force duties, they also do the same duties as a city police officer, such as traffic stops, domestic violence stops, theft, shoplifting, things like that. And yes, they also ensure that only authorized personnel come on base by checking their IDs. SPs work 12-hour shifts, not including what's called guard mount. Guard mount is where they have to show up for work, check out their gun or their weapons, get a briefing, and be taken to their post. This process can take up to an hour at the beginning and at the end of their shift, so a 12-hour day can easily become 14, 16 hours, depending on if they do PT in the morning before guard mount, things like that. They also have to do all of their appointments off-duty, so any kind of appointment time is off-duty, whereas a lot of day shop workers in the Air Force do all their appointments on-duty. Deployments are also a huge thing for SPs. They're always deploying on short notice, and also while deployed, they are, when everybody else is running for cover when there's an alarm black, these guys are running out to meet the enemy and protect the base. In Iraqi Freedom, of the 50 or so Air Force AFSCs, the Security Forces AFSC suffered 22 casualties, has suffered 22% of the Air Force casualties within the war. So 1/5 of the AFSCs, 1/5 of the casualties were by the SP career field. Excuse me. I recently spoke to 6 SF airmen, and they told me some stories about the disrespect that they've gotten at the gate. First story is about a woman who got selected for a random car check. She pulled up for the car check and said, "Do you know who my husband is?" And the security forces member looked at her ID and said, "Yes ma'am, I do. It looks to be that your husband is the installation commander, and by his order I need to inspect your car." Another one is something I witnessed personally in Alaska. It was about negative 20 degrees outside. The car in front of me pulled up to the gate. I saw the window roll down about a ½ inch. The ID kind of got pushed out the window, and then I watched a little bit longer, and the ID was just sitting there, and then I saw the window roll all the way down. The guy handed the SP the ID, sat there for about 30 seconds, 45 seconds, gave him the ID back, and let him go. I think the SP was proving a point that When you come up here, I'm standing out in the cold, you can be cold too for just a couple seconds. Another one is people complaining that their vehicle inspection is taking too long, or why were you inspecting me, you're profiling me, and all this kind of stuff. These vehicle inspections are random, and when you get inspected, you get inspected. Most people only see negative side of the SP career field when it affects them, like vehicle inspections, things like that. They don't see that when they're at home sleeping, an SF airman is guarding the gates, facilities, aircraft, keeping them safe. Gate guards have been treated rude and unfairly in the past, as I've been talking about. I want some things that you can do to tell a gate guard that you appreciate them are just to tell them they're doing a great job, and you're happy that they're serving and keeping you safe. Now, if the SPs I talk to, a lot of them said the things they hate is when you say, oh, stay warm, or have a great weekend, or hey, really enjoy your weekend. A lot of these guys are working in the middle of the night, on the weekends, and they're out there cold. So saying staying warm or have a good weekend or anything, they kind of take it as a slam because they're stuck there at that gate, they can't go anywhere. So being friendly and just saying, have a great one, and we appreciate what you're doing is the best bet. Also, maybe bring them a cup of coffee. That would be great if it's a cold day. Being nice to an SF airman also goes both ways. If you're nice to them, there's something called officer discretion. I heard that it's used a lot. Pretty much if you admit to something you did, maybe you got pulled over and you say, hey, I really didn't see that stop sign, I'm really sorry I messed up. You'll probably let go with a warning. But if you're sitting there complaining and giving a bunch of reasons why you shouldn't be pulled over, that SP is going to use officer discretion and probably make your life a little more difficult. So pretty much just any human nature, if you're nice to them, they're going to be nice to you. If you're nice to them, they'll get you out of that vehicle inspection faster. But if you're rude, I guarantee you it'll take twice as long. Today I've gone over some of the duties of the SF career field, some of the stories that I've been told or I heard about the gate, and what you can do to make an SF airman's life better. I hope the next time you go through the gate, you think of this speech, and you're respectful to the security forces member, and you're polite because they're trained and mission ready, qualified airmen that is not just there to check your ID. Thank you.